All right, everybody, welcome into the Double R Podcast featuring your boy Retro Recap. We just watched the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals put on an absolute classic. What a game, up and down, up and down. Ravens like they had a chance to blow this game out the water. Bengals was like, no, you know what? We're going to show you what we're about. Bengals had control of this game for the majority of the second half. The fact that the Ravens win this game 41-38, I don't know where we begin. Game ball. We got to give a game ball to Lamar Jackson. What is Lamar Jackson's final stats here? Lamar Jackson's final stats. Let's take a peek at it real quick. I'm just getting the game notes for this game. Lamar Jackson had a crazy game. He had a crazy fumble, but Lamar Jackson, 26 of 42, 348 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Now, Derrick Henry had a pretty quiet game into that last carry of the game. But if you think about it, Derrick Henry still finishes the game with 15 carries and 92 yards, even though he was damn near shut down for the majority of the game. Derrick Henry still finishes with almost 100 yards and a touchdown, and still finishes with a 6.1 average. So that's a regular game for Derrick Henry, even though he did nothing for the most of the game. Zay Flowers, 7 catches, 111 yards. Charlie Kolar, 3 for 64 and a touch. Rashad Bateman, 4 for 58 and a touch. Mark Andrews got touches, 4 catches for 55 yards. Tylan Wallace, let's not forget about Tylan Wallace, a big third down catch in that fourth quarter. Like the Ravens, this was a game. Joe Burrow had a game himself. 30 for 39, 392, 5 touchdown passes, 1 interception. A big interception, by the way. Jamar Chase balled out. 10 catches, 193 yards, and 2 touchdowns. T. Higgins, 9 catches, 83 yards, 2 TDs. I mean, what a game. When Lamar Jackson fumbled in the overtime, I thought that was it. Y'all saw me. I walked away from the screen. I literally walked away from the screen. I was like, no, he did not fumble the ball right here. The Bengals all he had to do was get, what, 15 yards to be in field goal range? I walked away from the chair. I couldn't even watch it. I came back. It looked like the kicker, it looked like the holder did not get a good hold of the ball, and the kick just was bad. So, very next play, the Ravens give the ball to Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry got a 51-yard run to put the Ravens in field goal range, and what a game. I mean, the Ravens offense, when they play like that, high tempo, the Ravens offense is damn near unstoppable. If they play, like, for everybody that was saying Lamar Jackson cannot lead this team to a comeback victory, I think he's proved that over the last 2 years. That narrative is out the window. Because if this was Lamar Jackson from 3-4 years ago, maybe. But this version of Lamar Jackson is a baller. He can come back from anything, man. The Ravens offense in the second half was explosive. They put up what? 27 points in the second half in overtime. The offense was cooking. The time of possession. Let's look at the time of possession here. They didn't have the ball much in the second half. Time of possession. No, they actually ended up winning the time of possession game. But it didn't feel like it. It felt like the Bengals had the ball for majority of the second half. The Ravens, 520 yards of total offense, 30 first downs. The Ravens have the #1 offense in the league. If y'all didn't know that, the Ravens have the #1 offense in the league when it comes to total yards. That's crazy, right? The Baltimore Ravens have the best offense in the league. Like, you would never hear that 10 years ago. The Baltimore Ravens have the best offense in the league. Joe Burrow balled out 5, but that interception in the fourth quarter was big. That interception was big. The penalty that came before it was big. It put them in a passing situation. Marlon Humphrey gets a game ball. You got to give a game ball to Marlon Humphrey. Marlon Humphrey saved the Bengals from going up. What would it have been? What would the score have been? 41 to 35. If the Bengals had not turned the ball over, it might have been 41-35. Meaning the Ravens would have to go down and score a touchdown instead of a field goal. But instead, Burrow throws an interception. Justin Tucker hits a clutch 56-yard field goal. And for anybody that's saying Justin Tucker is not clutch, he kicked a 56-yard field goal in the wind on the road. I mean, put it into overtime. And the Ravens did they Madubuike with a clutch sack. I mean, what a game. I don't want to hear anything about Lamar Jackson and Superman. I got people in the chat saying Lamar Jackson don't need to be Superman. Yes, he does. In order for the Ravens to win games, Lamar Jackson has to be Superman. Because this game, they took Derrick Henry out the equation. Lamar Jackson had to be Superman this game. If you look at the fronts and the coverages, the Bengals were putting a lot of people in the box, saying, Derrick Henry, you are not going to beat us. Lamar Jackson, if you're going to beat us, beat us. Lamar Jackson had 348 yards, 4 TDs. Great work by the Ravens. This is a great win, and this is going to be a great game going into this Commanders game. You just dropped 41. You just dropped 35 points on the what was it? 35? Was it 35 points against the Buffalo Bills, and then another 41 points against the Bengals? The Ravens offense is cooking right now. You scored 28 against the Cowboys, 35 against the Bills, and 41 against the Bengals. The Commanders better watch out. I'm telling you, the Commanders better watch out. The Ravens are hot. The Ravens are hot. No, he does need to be Superman. Lamar Jackson has to be Superman. Did you not watch the game? They're literally saying, Derrick Henry, you're not going to beat us. We're going to stack the box, and Lamar Jackson, you beat us. Lamar Jackson was Superman. He had to be Superman in this game because they were taking away the run. Buffalo Bills, no. Buffalo Bills were not taking away the run. So Derrick Henry cooked. You see how it's going. Cowboys game, Derrick Henry takes off. Lamar Jackson can sit back and just game manage. Buffalo Bills, Derrick Henry take over. Lamar Jackson game manages. This game, Derrick Henry game was not as efficient. Lamar Jackson takes over. That's why this team is so hard to beat, because you either stop Derrick Henry or you stop Lamar. Pick one. Pick one. Because you shut down Derrick Henry, Lamar still goes off. Lamar Jackson, we steamroll. Yeah, you don't even believe that. You don't even believe that. The Ravens don't get steamrolled. The Commanders are not going to steamroll the Ravens. Trust me. Trust me. The Commanders are not steamrolling the Ravens. You need to stop. You need to stop. If you think that the Commanders are going to walk into the bank and steamroll the Ravens after everything I just said, you either stop Derrick Henry or you stop Lamar. One of them is going to have a big game. And if you can't stop neither one of them, it's really bad. I mean, do I need to say more? Derrick Henry has been cooking the last 2 weeks. They shut him down for the most part. Lamar cooks. If I'm a Commanders fan, you got to pick your poison. Who am I going to stop? Lamar Jackson or Derrick Henry? But I can promise you, you're not going to stop both. Zay Flowers had a really good game. Zay Flowers had 100 yards in this game. If you stop Derrick Henry, you're not going to stop Lamar, Zay Flowers, likely Bateman. And if we happen to get a Davante Adams, I'm just saying, I don't think we're going to get Davante Adams. But if we get a Davante Adams, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Because it's like, okay, if we get Davante Adams and you want to still box up Derrick Henry and you're going to leave Davante one-on-one, or if you're going to try to stop the passing game and leave Derrick Henry with open formations, open holes, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Y'all got to pick y'all poison, Commanders. It's going to be a good game. The bank is going to be lit for that rivalry game, the battle for the DMV. That's going to be a really good game. Commanders are hot. They just spanked the Browns 34-13. And Daniels didn't even have a great game. 14-25, 238. And they still beat the Browns by a lot. This is going to be a good game. Lamar versus Daniels. We have a better running game than the Commanders. Lamar's a better quarterback than Daniels. I expect the Ravens to win this game. It's going to be a good game, though, because our defense did not look good this game. But we look good when it mattered the most. When we need to get a stop against Joe Burrow, when we kicked that field goal, we did a good job on that. And overtime, we didn't let them get a shit ton of yards. They missed the field goal. Defense, when they need to play good, they play good. And so I'm hoping that carries over against the Commanders. But the Commanders can't stop us. That's going to be evident. That's going to be evident. Nobody can stop Derrick Henry and Lamar. No one can stop Derrick Henry. Nobody can stop Derrick Henry and Lamar. Nobody can stop Derrick Henry or Lamar. You can't stop both of them in the same game. So somebody is going to eat. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's going to make this team dangerous. I'm giving the game ball to Lamar Jackson, Marlon Humphrey, and I'm going to give a game ball to Zay Flowers as well. Because Zay Flowers, even though he didn't get a touchdown, Zay Flowers balled out. Lamar Jackson, Marlon Humphrey, even though Joe Burrow had 400 yards, that interception was big. And I'm going to give a game ball to Zay Flowers. Great job, Baltimore Ravens. 41-30 over the Cincinnati Bengals. You guys have been absolutely amazing. Thank you guys for tuning in to the post-game show. This is your boy Retro Recap. We are signing off. Go Ravens! We got the Commanders next week. The 3-2 Ravens versus the 4-1 Commanders. Can you believe that? 4-1 Commanders. That doesn't even sound right. Anyway, this is your boy Recap. We out of here.
Yeah, have I been gone this long? They actually have a tablet ordering system now where you don't even got to talk to nobody no more.
Yeah.
I go in there, I'm putting my order. I'm like, was this always here?
Yeah.
This is your boy Retro Recap. Double R Podcast. Ravens, Orioles.